Welcome to the Post 2 frequency system, user Canis Ru. Please enter action into prompt. Play audio file recording 12.wave. Playing audio file now.
Everyone, Tawny Jackson here, welcome you all to ASU Student Radio Show. It is lovely to be talking with you all today. If it seems like I'm in a bit of a good mood, it's because I most definitely am. So today, I get to talk to you all about some of the evidence we've been pulling these last few weeks. When I started this project, I thought we'd only be getting around 2 to 3 pieces of evidence. Then we would do some basic theorizing on it with no actual solid conclusions. Which happens with a lot of research, so it's no big deal in the end. Science isn't always exact in this sort of thing. But we don't just have 2 or 3 pieces of evidence, we have so much compiled together from the research we did on the old studies and from what we've gathered over the past 6 months. Videotapes, audio clips, active population survey comparisons, the paw print that David found, all of that, along with the old studies and our theories combined, well, let's just say that our conclusions are looking pretty solid. When that jerk broke into my cabin a couple months ago and destroyed all my research notes and figures, I thought that I'd just have to settle with what was left of my work and turn it in with just some essays with David on the potential existence of the theory. And of course, after we presented it to the university, we'll share it online for you all as well, since you guys are technically the first to ever even hear about it. Which reminds me, I should probably discuss the last video I posted to the channel, evidence video number 2, like I said I was going to. So to start off with a disclaimer to the many that commented about this, that was not a fox, and we know this for 3 reasons. First is that this footage and audio was pulled from a game camera that was deep into wolf territory, situated nearly 8 yards away from the entrance of the main wolf den, mine entrance 8. I know, kinda weird, but let's not get started on the whole ethics of whether or not it's okay to let animals reclaim old structures or to tear them down instead for safety reasons. Believe me, this argument happens all the time here in Auraria because, of course, a large section of the original mining town of Auraria is abandoned, but if I get started talking about it, I'll go on forever. So yes, the main wolf den is in an abandoned mine entrance not far away from the game camera. The reason that this is important, though, is that a fox would not go anywhere near the resting places of wolves, much less during this time of year when many female wolves are raising pups and become increasingly more hostile towards any other animals in their territory. Secondly, fox calls do not sound like this. Yes, I will admit that upon first hearing this clip, I thought it was probably a fox. But when comparing this audio towards that of an actual fox, they don't match. See, foxes do have a high-pitched, almost scream-like call, but they bark. They don't howl. The call pattern that is in this video is not short barks. It's long, drawn-out howls. Foxes are not capable of howls, so therefore it can't be a fox. But wait, I hear you saying, this doesn't sound like a howl, so how can you say for sure that it came from one of the wolves? Well, dear listeners, do I have some information for you? Yes, the call does not sound at all like one would typically consider a normal wolf call, but remember that we are not researching regular wolves. We are researching a group of outliers from their species, so we aren't looking for normal behaviors. And it just so happens that when looking through what I could find from the old research, there were mentions of abnormal wolf calls from some member of the pack that they studied, though it is unclear in the text if these calls came from one of the diseased wolves or an apparently healthy one. Now, the real important fact about the text from the abnormal calls is what they are described as sounding like. The researcher described them as long, drawn-out, screech-like howls. Okay, if that is not a dead match for what we heard, then I don't know what is. So, yeah, I'm really glad I went back to check the text, or else I would have completely dismissed this clip as evidence. And truly, this clip isn't the only piece of evidence I had to pull back into the project after reading these papers, or at least what is recorded from them online. There is so much other evidence that I could tell you about, but that will probably have to come at a later date, since I have been trouble finding ways to present it in the video format, since some of what we found doesn't translate well to our usual format. But hey, if it comes down to it, I can just describe it over audio, though I don't know how much you guys would enjoy that, since it
Action play audio file recording 12.wave has been completed. Please enter next action into prompt. End session. Ending session now. Thank you for using the post 2 frequency system, user Canis Ru. Have a good day.